spaceship Neptune will fly tourists to 100,000 feet in luxury space balloon. I'll put this image up on the screen. You can see this balloon. You know what gets me weird about this, dude? It's
in a balloon.
Yeah, but what actually? Because the only
you can't trust that.
But a lot of the pictures that they show of this thing, it's like, what is above it?
A balloon.
No, I thought this was the balloon. Is it balloon, legitimately a balloon?
No, the balloon hauls like a capsule up. That's the capsule like you stay in, and the balloon is what's like bringing it up into space.
What about the wind? What if you get blown off course?
I don't know, man.
None of this.
I suppose you have to have like ideal conditions to like launch.
So this balloon, they say space fans can be treated to views of Earth from the comfort of a giant balloon by 2024. It's 2023 right now.
And 2024 is already booked too. Like if you want a ticket, you got to get one. You got to put a deposit down for the year after already.
And it's only what, 100,000. How much was it to fly to space? $125,000 each.
I'm just saying, man.
And here's the odd thing about this
It'll
balloon.
get cheaper for sure over time.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the weird thing about this balloon. More than 600 tickets have sold so far. So people are ready to go
into space.
Fly. Yeah, but here's the thing. This thing has never been tested.
We don't know that.
It's kind of like a theoretical thing right now. Like,
you don't know if it's been tested or not.
We've never. I feel like if it was tested, we'd have some kind of footage. Like all we have right now is like
too many
digital.
other things, though. I think that you wouldn't. They don't talk about it.
Maybe. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they're testing it. I'm just saying, like Elon Musk does tests with his rockets, right? Like Boeing, they test their aircraft. We see them flying around. This thing, you've never. I mean, the fact that 600 tickets sold, that's my point. The fact that 600 tickets sold, and we've never like, there's never been like a news story where they're going like a countdown to this balloon launching off into space. I don't know, man. I don't think I'd ever get on this thing, to be honest.
I won't get on the first trip.
No, I think it would take like maybe the first. Like with anything that flies in the air, like 5 years, I think I might jump on this thing. After 5 years of them, and it's got to be some consistent flight.
Dude, the inside pictures of that thing look sweet too, though. It looks pretty luxurious. Like, it looks baller. They got a bar and everything set up in there.
Yeah, I heard that. Here's some of those pictures right here. Look at this nonsense. What is this, dude?
I'm just saying, man. If I know, like, I'm going, I'm getting a ticket. Like, if my time's in, like, I got to see space before I die.
What do you mean? Why are you saying it like you're about to die, bro?
I'm saying I would have to. Like, if I knew I was about to die, I'm going to buy a ticket, like, instantly. Like that. Because I want to know it's real, man. Like, I've never seen it with my own eyes, you know? Like, you got to be up there.
That's true, dude. I want to read some more into this. Let's see. They'll take sight of the Earth's curvature from the comfort of a luxury loft lifted to the edge of space by a huge balloon. It hopes to start launching in 2024. See, they're talking about Wi-Fi and drinks. Says whether it really constitutes space flight is a matter of debate. Either way, if you go up that high, it's like the stratosphere. What do you call that? It's gonna be. You're gonna see some stuff. You should be able to see if the Earth is flat or round, right? We're gonna put that freaking that argument to rest. Maybe I would imagine that 600 of those tickets, somebody is a flat earther that's on those. We've had this discussion before.
I'm not saying that, but here's my conspiracy to this part. What if like each one of those window panels is actually like a screen? And like you just think you're going up, right?
They never
right because they can make stuff look so real nowadays.
Wow.
Like you would never know. Like you're in that thing and they just make it look like you're like going up and you're looking out. You're like, whoa, check that out. And it's like it's just a screen.
Your loved
you would never know.
Yeah, but your loved ones. Like what? You're gonna go to the Kennedy Space Center? Where's this thing launching out of? They're like, everybody go in this room.
Yeah, right.
Where did it say they were gonna launch from?
It's probably launches from underground somewhere.
Yeah, they're gonna start launching from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, no less. So it's like, come on, this has got to be a real thing. I get what you're saying, though. That'd be hilarious.
It'd be easy for them to do.
That would be such
That's the thing.
That would be such a kind of.
That's just my conspiracy point to it. Like, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen. Like, I just could see, like, they can make things look so crazy in like shows these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's freaking.
It almost looks better than real life.
How pissed would you be if you spent $125,000 and they put you in essentially a big movie theater, and like
they better have some good drinks on that bitch for that kind of money.
They better have hookers. They better have everything I've ever wanted on a space trip, right? You might not come back from this trip, so it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to throw in like some high class escorts on this thing. Like, what if none of us come back? Right? I don't want to go up to space, bro, with the possibility of, you know how these things turn into disaster. Like,
that's what I said, not the first one. Like, make sure it's like the 50th trippers, and they were all successful, maybe.
I can already see the headlines. Tragedy strikes at the Kennedy Center. It's like, God dang, man, this looks like a great way to get rid of your political opponents. You like buy you buy your buddy, or you like, let's say Trump and Biden, right? Trump buys Biden he gifts him with a trip. You're like, and then while he was in space, this mysterious missile-shaped object goes through this balloon.
Well, I could see Biden taking, because he'd be like, where am I?
Where are we going? Let's get in this thing.
How did I get here?
This says... Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but this says there's no special training required. The balloon climbs at a serene 12 miles per hour, and the company pitches itself as a greener, zero-emissions alternative to rocket fuel.
Yeah, it's like it was like a 6.5 hour trip. That's crazy, man. Right?
That's insane.
12 miles an hour. That's pretty slow.
This says, well,
you're not moving.
I know. This says the price for the 2 hour up, 2 hours gliding, and 2 hour down voyage, which ends with an ocean splashdown, is significantly less than Virgin Galactic's tickets that cost $450,000.
That's what sells me, though, is the 2 hours gliding in between. So that means you're up there. Like, I thought maybe you go up and then just like bring you right back down. Like,
you float
they're
around.
saying you're going to be up there for 2 hours.
It's just so hard for me to fathom how they're controlling. I want to see the rest of this object, because the control measures. It's like, what if you don't land in the ocean? There's got to be some kind of rocket on this thing. There's no way it's just a freaking air balloon. There has to be some measures to control it, right? Or else how can they land? How are you going to land in the ocean? What if you land on the dirt? Well, like, you have to be able to guide this thing.
I'm guessing it's got a backup thing too, but I'm guessing the balloon goes up and then something on the capsule itself probably, like, if they need to move like left or right, like moves it.
Those little air, like you see in space.
That'd be my guess. I don't know. Because obviously the balloon can only like do one thing, really, realistically. But
that's pretty nuts, dude. This apparently, it says Space Perspectives plans 25 flights in its first year with all seats now booked. Bastards. They took all the dang seats, dude.
Oh, there's you go. There's your trial and error. Like, you get to watch this year-long thing. What happens?
So yeah, all of us here on Earth, we have 25 trips for this thing to make, for us to watch either 25 successes or, let's say, it's only 10. And then we're like, listen, tickets ain't selling so well anymore. I don't think all of a sudden you start seeing tickets are like, what? I can go up there for $600. What's going on?
I got it, man.
They're like, yeah, 600. We get you on this plane.
Like I said, though, what if you already, like, it would pay though? Like, say you have, like, you find out you have cancer or something, you're gonna die like in a year. You're like,
I'd go for sure. Yeah.
Screw it. Like, I'm buying a ticket. I'm gonna take my chances. You know. What's the worst that's gonna happen to me?
Bro, I 100% agree with you on that.
It's definitely on my bucket list.
If I was older, and this was much more tested, yeah, I'd be gone for sure. And I had $125,000 to blow on.
It's a lot, and it's not, right?
No, it's not at all to go to space. Doesn't seem like a lot.
It's definitely way cheaper than like you said. They're saying the Virgin Galactic thing's like $400,000, $500,000, $500,000 to go.
I feel like for the average people though, who just don't like, if you had to remotely wonder, like, dang, should I really spend 125 grand? Like, if that's your financial situation, I feel like the 4-hour trip, or this, what is it, a 6-hour trip in total? I feel like that 6-hour trip, you'd be like, damn, I wish I hadn't had to pay so much for that. You know, it's like, I get it. The Earth's probably cool, but there's also a lot of speculation as to like, because when we watched, what was it? Jeff Bezos, when he launched off in his rocket, right? Yeah. He went and they like filmed William it. Shatner. Yeah. They filmed the whole thing. They filmed the whole thing with like GoPros and stuff, which I don't know why they did that, because it was still crap. You know,
because you have like cameras that are a billion times better.
Well, so yeah, but like
let's strap on a couple $100 GoPro cam.
Yeah, doesn't that piss you off? Yeah. And they did it with like the fisheye lens. It seemed like, I don't know. I might be speaking out of my round here, but
everybody does when they get up there, because it like intensifies like what's
like,
going
that's
on,
not what I want to see.
You want to see the
show
real
me
deal.
the damn show me what you're seeing, because you're giving fuel to a lot of these flat earth people who are like, oh, they use this flat earth thing and I know it curves. If I can put a GoPro on this table and curve your head, you know, like right here. So like something as big as like going up, people have done it with like homemade rockets. They boost off with GoPro cameras. But anyway, my point, Jeff Bezos, he went up with his little rocket. They filmed the whole thing, and a lot of people were saying, God dang, man, because he went pretty dang high. And a lot of people were like, didn't seem like he went that high, right? So it's like, if you watch the footage of Jeff going up in his rocket, and you watch the whole thing, you're like, dang, man, you guys didn't get that high. All the hype for this, like, they're talking $450,000 for a ride on that thing, Virgin Galactic. And you're like, you didn't go, like, it wasn't dark. They didn't go into the darkness of, like, it was all bright. Like, it didn't feel very spacey is what I'm trying to say.
No.
So it's like, if I'm going to pay to do something like this, you better take me to space.
There should be cameras 360 degrees on that thing.
Oh, there better
all
be.
the way around it.
Yeah. For the first trip, I can guarantee you.
You want to bet you're not allowed to like bring anything on there with you too?
No, they say,
I'd put that on there.
They say people have Wi-Fi. They say people
Wi-Fi for stuff on there, or can you like bring all your stuff with you?
I think you get Wi-Fi.
How baller would it be to do like a show on there? Right?
Dude.
Like to be going to space. You're like, hey, people, we're going to space. We're the first ones to do this. Check this out.
How baller would it be to have a studio that looks like that?
That too,
just set that on the ground. I'll take that, right? Like, look at this. Look at the chairs. That's a studio, son.
Just take a nap. You end up falling asleep and miss the whole thing. Like, hey, buddy, we're here.
Yeah, but dude, I'm curious. I'm truly curious as to what it's gonna. I hope they don't strap GoPros to this thing. You're gonna piss me off and everybody else. You strap GoPros to this thing and you give us a fisheye lens of the Earth. Like, that's the worst possible thing you can do, because there's so many conspiracies out there. Myself, I believe a lot of them too, by the way. That we can only go so high. Like, people are talking about, we're going to the moon, we're going to Mars. Yeah. I'm like, listen, yeah, you guys have. There's a lot of sketchy stuff out there.
All of a sudden, we got rid of all our equipment that could get us there before, and we can't get there now. What?
Yeah, we're not going.
And then every time we like launch something, oh no, it blew up. Oh, something happened. Oh shit.
It blows up, or we spend 40,000 years in the test and development phase, where we're blasting rockets off and they're going up so far and coming. We're like, Jesus, how many times do you have to like? We
got
put
there in the
some robots?
60s and we can't get there now. Like, it's what, 1969, right?
Dude. For sure.
And you can't get there now?
I'm at the point
going.
I'm at the point where I'm like, put some robots in that thing and just launch it. Like, see if it'll get to the moon again. Just go. You're playing with everybody's emotions. Myself personally, I love anything to do with space.
I'm just saying, the theorists on like the whole pictures too, man, they make a lot of sense when you like watch it, you know. When they talk about like how cameras work and the lighting and stuff, and like how they got it set up. And it's like when I sent you that video and the ship's leaving, right? Yeah. And like, I guess the photographer decided to stay behind and like Watch the ship leave.
All right, I hate to do this because this is more editing for me, but play a clip of what he's talking about.
Proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector grid.
So that clip.
I know it's probably not real.
No, but here's what I want to explain it to everybody. So that clip you just saw.
They left the camera.
No, someone in the, well, see, here's my knowledge, right? Someone in the comments said, I'm going literally by what someone in the comments said, but here's what they said. Apparently there was like a second, like, little lunar craft or whatever that was going to go back. It had the camera equipment with it, and they just left it there to film them taking off. And then that thing apparently was able to boost back up and connect with something like that. Something to that effect. Hey, you don't seem like you're buying this.
I don't, man. I'm just saying, like, they went up there with, like, they did not put that into, like, perspective, I feel like, when they went to the moon.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah, right? Isn't that wouldn't that be a weird,
like, we better make sure we got a second craft that's going to bring up our camera. Why wouldn't you just fucking leave it there?
It's like we barely got to space as it is. It was so hard. Yeah. But let's make a tiny little craft just to hold the camera and make sure that it connects. Like, it goes later. It's going to reconnect later with the mothership. Like, yeah, okay. So I get it. But that's someone's explanation for that. They were like, "Oh,
and I'm not saying we did it. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't around then, and I wasn't there. But then you got videos of what's his face too, saying like they never went, and he was one of the guys that went there.
Yeah, he keeps saying it never happened. They were like, "What's one of the?"
Question.
Yeah, they were like, "What's one of this little? Was it a little girl or a reporter that asked?"
There's a couple now that he says both. I've seen now 2 videos with him in it where he says we did not go.
Is it Armstrong? Is that who we're talking about?
Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin. It's like, yeah, she's like, some girl asked him, what was the scariest part of going to the moon? He's like, scariest part was that it didn't happen. something like that. Yeah. Like, that's not a direct quote, but that's kind of what he said. I was like, Jesus, man. It's right. Like you said, when people get old, they get senile or whatever, they just don't get. I can see it in myself already. I'm still young, but I feel like I'm getting old. I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want to say.
Did you see the video too when they all came back and they were sitting in like front of like the Senate and like the group of people? They have it on video. And it's like these people are very like nonchalant, like very serious on camera, like it's scripted. Like, you guys aren't excited? You just went to the moon? Like, nobody's like, they're like, yes.
Yeah, I saw
it's
that.
very like plain and it seems very scripted, and it's after they come back.
Yeah, I saw that. Everyone was somber. No one was celebrating. They were like, yes, we went to the moon. It's like, oh, well, how was it? Seems like it was a little depressing to you. Like,
it was me.
Dude, before we end this, okay? I was driving home not yesterday. What was it? Yeah. Whenever I was driving home, I was going down the interstate and I was looking at the sun. You know how many theories there are of the sun? Like how it's not that far away. Some people even post videos where they're like, oh, I saw clouds go behind the sun.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't believe at all. I don't feel like there's any way there's clouds going behind the sun.
I can literally feel the heat from that.
But yeah, if you're driving and I get it, okay? They say how big it is, right? If you look at like a scale model of like how big the sun actually is, then it makes more sense as to why it's so freaking hot. But I also feel like it would look bigger too. Because when they show the sun and then they show the earth and the earth, like all these little, they're like, oh, you're like, Jesus Christ, like the sun is so many, however many, whatever times the amount of like the earth. You're like, if I looked up at something that big, you would think it would look a lot bigger, right?
Well, because they say it's so far away, too.
But still, okay, so even so then, it's that far away. Why is that heat so hot? Yeah. You know, the heat feels very close to me, right? Yeah. So you get this very conflicting, I don't know. I'm not saying the sun is not where they say it is. I'm just saying you always wonder, and I always wonder when I'm driving for sure. Like sun and moon, when I see them hanging in the sky, I'm just like, doesn't look that damn far away. You know, it's like, obviously I know nothing, right? I'm willing to admit that. Yeah, I know nothing about freaking whatever, space stuff. I know nothing, right? But it's a human thing to look around and go, and we question everything. That's also a human characteristic, and it's a good thing, I think. Right? You can't just believe everything.
The whole warming, like your conspiracy on, like their stuff on like global warming. Well, it's their own fault. Because you sent me the cloud seeding stuff. Like they've admitted it. They put stuff in the atmosphere, whatever. But they also admit that they messed up. And like the aluminum and everything, actually, what they wanted to do is block the sun and the heat. But what it ended up doing is it's also keeping the heat from leaving. So like it's actually warming up the earth faster from what it's because of the aluminum and stuff that's in it. Yeah.
You're talking about those planes that spray that solution in the air?
Basically, yeah.
And it's got like aluminum particles in it, right?
And that's I've listened to a brain surgeon too talk about it, that they've done studies and everything. They're finding like colleges are going around and doing studies on like they're taking samples of trees and water and everything from them, sampling it, and they're finding aluminum like in the water and everything from them doing that. And it's actually that's why there's like a higher rate of like Alzheimer's and stuff too, because aluminum like does shit to your brain. So, but you know, he's a kook, right? Even though he's a brain surgeon, went to school for like 8 years and probably longer, and he's not like dumb. So, I mean, I'm sure he's got some basis behind his stuff. You know?
I know that he does. There's proof to research like that.
Yeah.
100%.
But they'll never, know who wants to hear about it, right? I probably just bored half the people listening to this.
I just want to know who okayed it and why I didn't get a vote, That's it. If you're going to spray something in the atmosphere, I feel like every human being on Earth.
Because you voted that guy in that okayed it, right?
Right? Half the people voted that guy in. It wasn't me. It was the other 50%. Don't put this off on me.
Well, I'm just saying in general aspect, like we're to blame.
Okay.
In the end, right?
I'll take responsibility. What do we do about it?
Throw them out.
You want to run for governor? You want to run for mayor? You and I, right?
Yeah.
Let's be the duo that other people cannot be. You think we'll be corrupt over time? I for sure would take a bribe. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, like, let's be real.
Take it from the right side at least, right?
Well, yeah, but like, if let's just say the sheriff's. All right, maybe.
That's guilt. Man,
maybe we should end this podcast. Yeah. Wait a minute.
They're gonna come back. Man, they're just gonna throw that in your face.
All right, can I
cue the music? We're out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the music has been cued. The skews is spoken. Hey, we got a guest watching this podcast, Miguel. This is one show Miguel doesn't have to watch. He got to sit in first class.
It's a joke.
We'll catch you guys. It was a joke. It's all jokes.
He didn't mean it.
It's all jokes, people. We'll catch you in the next video.
Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.